Oh, I'm from here, from Olympia, Washington. I'm Shawn Smith. When I was 14, I was in 8th grade, middle school. Pretty normal 8th grader. You know, I was into sports, playing basketball at that time actually, and I had started becoming real fatigued, missing a little bit of school. And this one Friday came, I called my mom up and said I can't do basketball practice. And then we got home and I just did not feel right at all. So took me to the emergency room at what's Capital Medical Center now. It was Black Hills Hospital at the time. But in the ER, and they checked me out, couldn't figure out what was going on, sent me home, just said watch his fever. My mom and dad brought me back in later that evening and just happened to catch the ER doctor that had seen me earlier. And he just decided, let's take a chest x-ray and see what's going on. And both of my lungs were full of pneumonia at that time. And so basically I'd been walking around with pneumonia. Within 2 weeks I was airlifted up to Children's Hospital in Seattle, where I ended up spending 6 months in the hospital there. Finished my 8th grade school year while I was still in the ICU. After the stroke and the paralysis, they said, well, you know, he may not walk. If he does walk, it'll be with, you know, braces and canes and crutches, you know, all these different things. And I was like, you know, no, I don't think so. But by the time I graduated in '89, I was pretty much a normal 18-year-old. I went out and I pretty much did whatever I was told I couldn't do. So I went and I worked in a cannery in Alaska. It was kind of my great adventure. Took a little bit of community college classes, trying to finish my degree, that kind of stuff. But had gotten married, had a son, and then I started missing a lot of work. And right as I turned 30, kind of hit that wall again. And went in and got diagnosed with what they called interstitial lung disease at that time, which is basically a blanket term for we have no real clue. And at that time, that was in 2000, they gave me a 5-year window to get a lung transplant. My son was 4 at the time. I'm all of a sudden out of a job. And kind of just, we went through the motions essentially for several years, up until about 5 years ago. They revisited the whole transplant idea. They narrowed it down to having pulmonary fibrosis and pulmonary hypertension are my 2 conditions, which are both qualifiers for lung transplant. And about 3 years ago, I was officially listed for lung transplant at the University of Washington. What you might find to be your greatest weakness can be your greatest strength. I don't know, that's probably been said by somebody, so it might be a cliche thing, or you know, I'm stealing it from somebody else, but I really believe that. And I think with my diagnosis, probably not from 14 to 30, but from 30 to about 35, I thought my life's done. That wasn't true. So you find a way to adapt and you know, keep engaged and do it. There's a way that you can find to still do the same thing. You might be a little slower at it, you know. You might be able to not do it in the same amount of time as you used to, but just push yourself. You know, everybody knows their limits, but you've got to find where your limits are and push right up to that.
Yo, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Hey, that looks pretty good for having sat for 20 minutes.
You know what? That looks delicious.
What inspired it? He needs new lungs. What we're doing is you're gonna get this. We're selling this on Sunday, October 15th. The deal is you'll get this burger, you'll get fries, root beer, and Dr. Pepper floats, all for $5. But if you can't finish it, you owe me another $5. So it's $10 if you can't finish it. You can't not talk to Shawn and hear his story and not feel compelled to help.